I clearly state that every class in this channel is recorded, edited, and uploaded in the respect and love for Elon Musk, who practices the love of Jesus Christ. We will practice for tense and the voice in a clause. At first, we will study about a clause stated in the perfect tense and the active voice of the speaker. We will start to study from the future perfect tense and the active voice. There's a clause, I will have greeted you. From the application of the modal verb will to describe the intransitive verb have that describes the experience of the speaker as a subject who retains the period for the experience. We can understand that the experience of the subject is going to be complete in the future. The experience of the subject is going on at the present when the speaker, as the subject, delivers this clause to the listeners. The speaker is going to declare the completion of the experience in the future. The time gap between the present when the speaker states this clause to the listeners and the point in the future when the speaker will declare the completion of the experience is revealed in a way that the modal verb will describes the intransitive verb have at first, and the past participle greeted reveals that the speaker is the time receiver for discussing about the experience of the speaker. From the first transitivity and from the second transitivity, the definition of the transitive verb greet starts from the speaker to the object, the listeners. So we can understand that the speaker is the time receiver in the relationship with the time. The speaker receives the period as the object in the subject-object relationship with the time, and the speaker becomes the subject of actualizing the definition of the transitive verb greet to start and give the condition to the listeners in the subject-object relationship. We can understand the two subject-object relationships are included in this clause. The intransitive verb have described by the modal verb will conveys the intention of the speaker who declares the completion of the experience with a way to actualize the action indicated by the transitive verb greet more than once to respond to the period from an uncertain point in time when the experience starts to the point in the future when the experience will end. From now on, we will study about the perfect progressive tense and the active voice of the speaker in a clause. The first one is stated in the past perfect progressive tense and the active voice of the speaker. There is a clause I had been greeting you. From the form of the intransitive verb had, we can understand that the speaker delivers the experience of the speaker as the subject that was completed, that was declared to be completed in the past. The form of the intransitive verb had reveals the time gap between the point in the past when the speaker declared the completion of the experience and the point at the present when the speaker delivers this clause to the listeners in the conversation. The form of the past participle been reveals that the speaker as the time receiver responded to the period in a way to just exist during the period. So we can understand that the past participle been has the trait of an adverb. From the application of the present participle greeting that has the trait as an adverb, we can understand that the way of the speaker to respond to the period in the subject-object relationship with the time is specified in each point when the speaker existed during the period in the experience. The speaker continued the condition described by the transitive verb greet, that is the body of the present participle greeting, during a period. The condition described by the present participle greeting was delivered to the object who are the listeners. The application of the past participle been reveals that the speaker responded to the flow of time, while the speaker received the time in a way to exist. From the primary definition of the be verb and the present participle greeting specifies each point when the speaker existed with the application of the other adverb been. The interpretation of this description by the adverb greeting can be understood from the way to zoom in a point in the experience of the speaker when the speaker just existed. The point when the speaker just existed was zoomed in into a period when the speaker could actualize the condition described by the transitive verb greet, that is the body of the present participle greeting. The clause conveys the intention of the speaker to emphasize that the speaker as the subject continued the action more than once, which is indicated by the transitive verb greet, at the close point in the past when the speaker declared the completion of the experience that lasted from the far point in the past to the close point in the past. The second clause is stated in the present perfect progressive tense and the active voice of the speaker. There is a clause I have been greeting you. The form of the intransitive verb have reveals the accordance between the point at the present when the speaker delivers this clause to the listeners, and the point in the time when the speaker declares the completion of the experience of the speaker. And the application of the past participle being that has the trait as an adverb reveals that the speaker responds to the flow of time in a way to exist. While the speaker receives the time, the speaker exists. The speaker who responds to the flow of time in a way to exist start and give the definition of the transitive verb greet at on and a period that is zoomed in from the point in time when the speaker responds to the period in a way to exist. At the time when the speaker exists, the speaker zooms in each point in time in a period to actualize the condition described by the transitive verb greet, that is the body of the present participle greeting that has the trait as an adverb. The condition described by the present participle that has the trait as an adverb is delivered to the objects who are the listeners, and the listeners complete the subject-object relationship. The clause conveys the intention of the speaker as a subject to emphasize that the subject continues the action indicated by the transitive verb greet more than once at the present when the speaker declares the completion of the experience that lasts from the point in the past to the present. The third clause is stated in the future perfect progressive tense and the active voice of the speaker. There is a clause, I will have been greeting you. The speaker reveals that the experience of the speaker is going to be complete in the future. The speaker delivers this clause at the present to the listeners. So this time gap between the point at the present and the point in the future is revealed into the application of the modal verb will to describe the definition of the intransitive verb have. During the period when the experience of the speaker is going to last until a point in the future, the speaker receives the time as the time receiver. This is revealed by the form of the past participle being. The speaker is the time receiver, and this fact that the speaker is the time receiver is revealed with the form of the past participle being to specify the definition of the intransitive verb have with the trait of the adverb. So we can understand that this information is revealed in this clause. How the speaker responds to the flow of time. The speaker responds to the flow of time in a way to exist. The speaker responds to the flow of time in a way to exist as a response, and the speaker intends to specify each point in time when the speaker responds to the period of time in a way to exist from the fact that the speaker can zoom in a point when the speaker exists in the period of experience into a specified period, because the speaker intends to emphasize that the speaker continues the condition described by the transitive verb greet, that is the body of the present participle greeting that specifies the way that the speaker responds to the flow of time. The speaker actively exists, and when the speaker exists actively, the point when the speaker exists is specified into a period when the speaker actualizes the condition described by the transitive verb greet. The condition of the speaker described by the transitive verb greet, that is the body of the present participle as an adverb, to specify the definition of the other adverb being. And gives to the object who are the listeners. This clause conveys the intention of the speaker to emphasize that the subject will continue the action indicated by the transitive verb greet more than once at a point in the future when the speaker will declare the completion of the experience that will last from the uncertain point in time to the point in the future. There is an expression from the uncertain point in time. This tells us that the speaker clarifies the point in the future when the experience of the speaker to be completed, but the speaker does not reveal when the experience of the speaker start or will start in the near future.